What's going on, YouTube? I'm E, and this is Simply Put Sense. And I wanted to talk to you guys about a fragrance that came out last year by the house Christian Dior. And the fragrance is Sauvage. Yes, guys, I know. Sauvage is a fragrance we've all heard of, and I don't care. I'm gonna do my review on it anyway. And here we go. What is it about this fragrance that gets all the love? And what is it about this fragrance that gets all the hate? The haters of this fragrance tend to be Dior fans. People who've come to expect a certain standard from Dior, and people who demand that standard be maintained every scent that Dior releases. The people who love this fragrance are people who tend to like fragrances that get them a lot of compliments. I come somewhere in between. What do I get from this scent? I'm gonna be dead seriously honest. To me, this fragrance reminds me of what would happen if Dior and Right Guard collaborated on a deodorant. A masculine deodorant from Right Guard by Dior. I'm being real with you guys. I mean, I know that sounds kind of strange, and I know people are gonna be like,
"Dude, you're crazy."
But that's what it reminds me of. I was wearing this particular Right Guard. I was like, wow. On my skin, it gave me like that Dior Sauvage vibe. I was like, oh, this is weird. Not to say that it smells exactly like it, but they're within the same family in terms of the scent. The bergamot in this fragrance smells amazing. I love it. But the sad part about it is it only lasts for a few minutes. And then it's gone. And then you get a little bit of florals, and then it's straight ambroxan all the way through. And it's very linear. I mean a very heavy-handed ambroxan. Another thing I noticed is when I smell this fragrance, it reminds me a lot of the air fresheners that is sold around Christmas time for people who have artificial trees. They want to keep their fake trees smelling like real trees. It's like a pine air freshener type thing. Maybe it's that air freshener's take on pine that I'm smelling when I smell this scent. But yeah, it just reminds me in that mental connection of pine. More than anything, it smells to me like a male hygiene product. And I don't mean that in a bad way, because it is fresh and it is pleasant, and yeah, it smells good. The performance of this fragrance, I think, is one of the best attributes of this scent. It lasts a very, very long time. Sometimes it pushes 10 to 12 hours, especially if it gets on my clothes. It's lasting. It also projects really well. And I mean, the ambroxan of this scent, it pushes, and it pushes loudly. Now, when to wear this fragrance? I think this fragrance is a very, very versatile skeleton key type of scent. This scent works at any occasion, in any weather scenario, in any climate. Feel free to wear this whenever, for whatever. Is Sauvage a unique fragrance? In my opinion, it is. This is not a generic scent if you go by the definition generic. This is not a fragrance that reminds you of a different fragrance. If I go on Fragrantica, I've noticed it's very hard for people, and I mean thousands of people have given their opinion on this fragrance, and thousands of people have a hard time coming up with what this scent reminds them of. Some people say Aventus. It's not Aventus. Some people say Bleu de Chanel. It's not Bleu de Chanel. It's unlike anything I've ever smelled outside of a Right Guard bottle. I don't think Sauvage is a good value at all at this price point, but for a person who doesn't have that many fragrances in their collection, I think this is definitely a high value fragrance. Dior's compliment factor is pretty good. This fragrance went hygienic almost, and it works. It absolutely works. I would definitely consider this fragrance if compliments is what you're after. It doesn't have the complexity of most Dior fragrances. It doesn't have the quality of notes of most Dior fragrances. And to be honest with you, I think Dior really tried to just cash in with this thing. I don't think this was a very difficult, complicated compositional formula. I think this is a very simple drip, 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 sell it type of scent. Which I feel also they're entitled to do, because I feel like if any brand is entitled to cash in, Dior is that brand. I mean, they've done nothing but stunners back to back to back to back to back to back for a very long time. And so I think they're entitled to cash grab every now and then. And that's what this scent is. I think another negative of this scent is the fact that it could be getting extremely popular, extremely fast. So if you're a guy that likes to have a scent that will allow you to stand out and not smell like a lot of other guys, this might not be for you. It's not the type of fragrance that the negatives of this scent will detract the general public from appreciating it on you. So that's something to also keep in mind. So, as you know, guys, I like to put fragrances in the page rating system. And that is P for poor, A for average, G for good, and E for exceptional. So now, guys, where do you think Sauvage by Christian Dior lands on the page? I like this fragrance. I do. I like this fragrance. And I wear this fragrance. I've worn this fragrance a lot this summer. But I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to allow that to cloud my review on this scent. To me, guys, this fragrance is a strong A. This is an average fragrance, and I do not mean that in a derogatory or negative way. I think this fragrance leans G, and the reason why I feel like it leans G is because it's a great performing scent. It is extremely distinctive. There are very few fragrances that smell like this that are doing what this fragrance is doing. And on top of that, it gets a lot of love from strangers. If you're a person who likes the love that a fragrance can get you, this is a fragrance that'll get you love. It's just that simple. If compliments were the only factor that I could use to judge a fragrance, I would definitely consider this an exceptional scent. But as an honest reviewer, as an honest, objective reviewer, I cannot allow a fragrance's popularity to sway my opinion on that fragrance. I just can't. I can't allow the fact that this is an amazing compliment-getting fragrance skew my opinion about the composition of this scent. And in my opinion, the reason why I can't give this anything above an A is because there are other Dior fragrances that I haven't reviewed yet that I feel are above in quality to this. And I cannot with good conscience put this in an E or G status knowing that those other fragrances are better than this. I feel like the composition was just very ho-hum, you know? And that's why I feel like it's gotten so much hate in the fragrance community, because Dior lovers and Dior fans know that this scent is not to a Dior standard. And it probably isn't, but in the grand scheme of things, this is not a bad scent at all. Now, when you compare it to other Dior fragrances, that's where this scent kind of falls apart. Let me also state that I don't think that just because a fragrance is considered average, it's not a scent worth trying, having, and owning. Definitely not. This is a scent worth trying, owning, and having if you appreciate it and if it works with your skin chemistry, without question. But as a reviewer, I have to be honest. I have to stay true to my rating system. I have to stay true to my objectivity and be honest and real with you guys. Are you a lover of this scent? Are you a detractor of this scent? What do you think about this scent? Please comment down below. Like this video if you appreciated it. And of course, subscribe to Simply Put Scents. I'll appreciate it. Hit that. So thank you so much for watching. I'm E, and this is Simply Put Scents. And I'm Simply OUT.